today, what I want to do is I want to clarify exactly what the HandsOff Lady Revolution is and what it means by physically empowering. But first of all, once again, your support, the comments, I really appreciate it through all this hard work. So after doing all of these workshops and meeting hundreds of women, their amazing stories, some really good stories, and then some, some that are kind of scary stories. But either way, I've witnessed firsthand what physical empowerment can do for a woman. You know, at the beginning of every event, I always hear things in the crowd like, I don't know if I can do this, or am I too old, or I'm not in good enough shape, and all of that is irrelevant when it comes to physical empowerment. And of course, especially with being able to defend yourself. But that's what I hear all the time at the beginning. Very disempowering stuff coming from these women. And as a physical empowerment coach, we kind of pick up on these things. But as they power through, and I'm taking them through the physical training, whether it's exercise, the fitness aspect, or it's the actual self-defense moves, I start seeing different things. I start seeing people much more confident, look at their body language. And then the things they're saying, wow, I didn't think I could do this. Or, wow, this stuff really works, which actually really cracks me up, because why wouldn't it work? I guess sometimes they train in things that the stuff wouldn't work. But anyways, it's really awesome to see the women becoming more and more empowered physically. And that's what sparked the whole HandsOff Lady Revolution for me. Seeing firsthand what it could do for people. And so I wanted to share, we need to create more awareness for domestic violence and also sexual harassment. So what do? What is physical empowerment? Well, to me, physical empowerment is about becoming stronger and more confident to be able to control, your life and your rights, as you live. And then developing that self-trust. And what is self-trust? Self-trust to me is like self-confidence. When you physically challenge yourself, in this case anyways, when we physically challenge ourselves, there comes a point, and we've all been through this, where you're either going to give up and say, no, I can't do anymore. Not only are you physically stopping yourself, but mentally you're putting a barrier up to say, look, that's as far as I can go. That's what you think anyways. But when you push through that and you power through that, and that's what I do with the women in my events, we're pushing through that, we're powering through that, that creates bigger boundaries. It creates a higher ceiling for them. And they go, wow, I did it. And now they're trusting themselves. So when they're physically challenged with other things, whether it's another activity or anything else, they learn to trust themselves, say, look, I can do this. I did it before. I did it again. Now, you won't develop that self-trust unless you learn to power through what you think is your limitations. So that's the power of physical empowerment. Now, that being said, to create this revolution, we needed more physical empowerment coaches to get out and help and offer this experience to women. And not just women, but girls. It's so gratifying when I'm doing troops of Girl Scouts. I do them all the time, and watching these younger girls and teenagers, becoming more physically empowered. Now, to me, that's really important, not only because I have my own daughters and so forth, but because, I know we're setting them up, we're introducing this experience to them. So hopefully they continue to get involved with things that are going to physically challenge them and conquer those, because that's going to help out with the self-worth. So self-worth is how much worth you put on yourself. Now, if you're always quitting things, giving up things, telling yourself, I can't do it, it's too hard, I never was able to do it, and no one in my family could ever do it, well, those are limitations that you're placing on yourself, and that's the level of the self-worth you're giving yourself. And when your level's low, you're more apt to let other people into your life that are at that level or even below, and they're going to even pull you down even further. So we can see how that can relate to domestic violence, or getting involved in relationships where the spouse, the other half, is trying to control you, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, or what have you. When you have a strong self-confidence and a strong self-worth, that's less likely to happen. Not that it's impossible not to happen, but it's less likely. And that's what we're doing here. Creating more awareness, giving these women, these girls, an opportunity to be introduced to physical empowerment. Now, how do we get involved? Well, I'm already doing it at my school, and it's pretty simple. Any martial arts school, any dance, yoga, fitness, anyone that physically empowers people, in this case women, you can do this. You can become part of this movement, and all you have to do, it doesn't cost you any money, it just costs you a free month. To give someone a free month, whether they continue or not, we don't know. But most importantly, you've given them a gift, like I've been doing for these women over these years. And I mean, I do it now at my school. Every woman, every girl that walks through the doors of my studio is getting a free month of training and no strings attached. Now, I know I'm giving that to them, okay? And I'm just telling you, my school's rocking with our programs are rocking. We have raving fans. So giving away a free month shouldn't be something that is a scarcity mindset, like, oh, I can't afford to do that. That's ridiculous. When you give to people and you give to your community, believe me, it'll come back to you, not just in business, but in here. You definitely sleep well at night, plus a lot of work, so you'll sleep well at night. So we already have a big athletic center out in Tallinn on board. I have other ones that are interested in getting on board. I would love to see more of these studios get on board. What's holding back? I don't know. So they can go to our website at HandsOffLady.com, and you can go to our website and look at the nearest location as we build up this team. We're starting in Connecticut. Unfortunately, we have some high-profile domestic violence cases in Connecticut, and we're just going to spread nationally throughout the different industries. So I think it's a great thing. I think we all have to spread the word. And once again, thank you so much for commenting and liking. We're at almost 800 views already with very little exposure. So please keep sharing. Let's get it at 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 views, spreading the word. We can all do this together. And like I always like to end my blog posts and so forth, I think we all should live a mindset, a life that we should expect to be respected, nothing less than that.